Success Mantra is a program which features people, successful individuals from various walks of life. They are less known heroes who believe in their dreams and have conviction to live their full potential. Idols, icons, innovators who care to live every moment on their own terms.
Welcome to another session of Success Mantra. In this program, we highlight people who have made a difference to society and to the corporate world. Today, we have a very interesting guest with us who has been 27 years in various Fortune 500 companies in CXO levels. And he has a plethora of experience and also educational qualifications. So he's a ICWA, a CA, a CS, and very recently acquired a PhD in economics. So we are really delighted to have Mr. Sanjeev Rastogi, Dr. Sanjeev Rastogi with us. And I have personally worked with him. He's a wonderful leader and a great person to work with. So welcome, Sanjeev. Welcome to the Success Mantra program.
Thanks, Sonali, and it's a pleasure talking to you. And I have very fond memories working with you. I think you are one of the best in your what you do, especially in the learning and development. I have never seen somebody so passionate and so much zeal to prove, and I think you have done wonders. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure, Sanjeev, to have you on the show. So tell us a little bit about your journey in the corporate world and, how you acquired, people struggle to pass even a CA. And you have not only kind of completed your CA, but you have done so many more. So what's this desire to acquire more and more education in your life?
So I come from a defense background. My father was in defense, and he, being an engineer, wanted me to join and become an engineer. I did not have interest in science and maths, something which I was scared of. And I would not say that I was a brilliant student, but what happened, we moved to Delhi, and my cousin, who was a doctor, and my father had a very humble background. So obviously they had come up and they said, you have to study. That's the only way you are going to gain success. So one thing which struck me at that time was when there is a will, there is a way. And you can turn around. What others can do, why can't you do it? So I started pursuing my CWA during my BCom honors days in Delhi University. And I said, I can prove this. My father said, chartered accountant those days, 1 in 20 lakhs, 1 in 30 lakhs. It's so difficult. It's impossible. Then so we had a long chat in the family, being the eldest son.
Right.
They said, when there's a desire, dedication, and discipline, you can prove. And I said, I'll prove to you that. So I took that as a challenge, and that motivated me. So I think the self-motivation is the biggest motivation, because people can keep pushing you. If your heart is not there, you will never achieve anything.
True.
And I think that happened. So by the time I cleared my BCom honors, I had done my 3/4 of my ICWA, only one group was left. Immediately I joined CA. That became easy because I had done my ICWA. So that was, and I wanted to come in merit. So it was not about passing the CA, it was setting yourself a standard and challenging yourself. Right. And I think that passing became easy. If I'm looking at just passing it, then you struggle, because your milestone, your vision has to be much bigger than what you need to achieve. So I was trying to be in merit and clear both the groups final in first attempt, and that happened. So once you start believing in yourselves, when you set a high standard works, and then CS was a cakewalk, I would say. My corporate journey was not something which I designed, if I look back 27 years, but I took a formal decision midpoint of my career. So first job was with FP&A as a management trainee, right from passing my CA. Then I moved to American Express, and then American Express was kind of shared services. But what happened there was, I was triple qualified. I was doing accounts payable as a transactional job, and I went to my mentor, and those days very senior leader, and I asked him that what I'm doing here, I feel underutilized. I feel frustrated because I'm not using some of these qualifications. And what he said, learn, and learning never goes waste, and you learn till you. So that stuck with me. He said, move around, learn different processes. This is an industry which is going to stay, and no job is a smaller job or higher job. But what skills you acquire during the job, on the job, and the learnings will go all the way through your careers, and that happens. So that I took as a very good learning. Learning is always good. You need to invest in yourself, and you need to acquire new skills to be relevant, to be competitive, and to survive and to have a success in the future. And that happened. So I moved around 3 or 4 different profiles within American Express, and that led to me believing that I have now the experience. So American Express was the first shared service. Then I moved to Stanchart, uh, and then while I joined them, helping them set up scope and in the tax department, uh, an opportunity came to go to the US to transition 300 people's job. And that was the challenge because I had never handled a team more than 15 people. But this was a good opportunity. This was a great success. And I thought the shared service industry, the outsourcing industry is something which I'm going to stay. I'm going to build my qualification, build my leadership, which will, because I had the finance qualification. Functionally, I was good, but I need to invest in myself in leadership skills, which is key today,
Absolutely.
And what happened was, and the other thing was, people always say leaders are born, but that's not true. You can acquire skills, you can acquire mentors, you can do coaching. There are a lot of good life coaches available, and that happened with me. So, and then I joined HP in 2005, and that changed my entire world. uh, HP was a very different organization, 100 billion plus organization working with different stakeholders. I had a great team. I had a good leader in you as a learning and development. So leading 3 centers, center head of Bangalore, and that led to me learn not only from my colleagues and peers and from my other stakeholders, but that also gave me a lot of confidence to lead, set up, and drive. And that included merger with Compact, merging with EDS, emphasis, managing 3 centers, different processes. So that was a remarkable change and a 100% change in my career that you could do if you have a will. You can prove and you can take on. You don't have to worry that you're not done something and you can't do that in future. So that worked for me. Then I got an opportunity to set up something new for a European retail organization in Pune. So I moved to Pune in 2011. And that was a unique situation. We were just not managing a center, but setting up a language center with 70 people speaking 19 languages in Europe.
Nice.
So that was a different kind of a challenge. It was similar processes, but in languages, and going to Germany, working with different councils, work councils, working with people who were losing their jobs. And it was a very different experience and different industry. So I'd been in banking industry, I'd been in HP, industry. Now this was retail experience. And 2016, I got a chance to lead the entire APAC, 14 countries operations team, which was a different profile altogether. That you're going to lead 350 people sitting across 14 countries. Some of them you will never meet, but you were directly impacting and leading. And I was part of the business leadership. So that was a different experience because I was moving into a strategy and more into delivering commercial solutions than a shared service kind of organization. And then I grew the center, we insourced. So different kind of experiences. So I think what I would summarize, Sonali, is don't hesitate to take risk in your career. Don't hesitate to try new things.
Right.
Not every time you will be successful, but there's no failure, I would say. These are learnings. And I had so many learnings on the way because what it helped me was that I don't repeat those in the future, and it made me a strong leader. So I would say a very fruitful journey of 27 years. I'm currently a partner with Deloitte, a very different experience, and I'm enjoying my new stint last 2-3 months. But if I look back, I would say uh, always learn new things, whatever level, whatever position, wherever you are. Don't hesitate to ask, invest in yourself, take risk, uh, and don't be afraid of failures. So today's mantra is you know, learn fast, fail fast, learn fast, fail fast, and keep moving on. Don't worry.
I think you have summarized our entire interaction in your introduction itself. However, we'll still go ahead and ask few things that we have lined up for you. So the biggest one being that, like you have worked in American Express, you worked in HP, and then you transitioned your career so well into various different domains. So what's been this kind of traits or behaviors which has really helped you in terms of your leadership, in terms of your achievement of your goals? What has really helped you create the success in the industry?
I would say I would owe my success to my team because you are as good as your team is. So while we had a leader in you learning and development, but the kind of impact we created on the organization, the kind of talent we managed through learning and development, the kind of leadership skills we imparted to the people. So I think the first thing would be you are as good as your team is. Focus on them, bring up the talent. That is good. Second thing is always look forward to investing in people, giving them larger opportunities. So believe in delegation, grooming your team, because that is how you can focus on better and more strategic things than doing a routine stuff because your team can take care of those.
Sure.
That was the second thing. The third thing is, walk the talk. What you preach, what you say what you preach, and um, believe in transparency, believe in values and integrity, because that is how the people see you as a leader.
Right.
And if you're able to do that, there are a lot of people who respect you, regard you, because you can't demand respect, you can only command respect.
True.
The other thing which I really worked with me was was more a participative leader. I would include people in my decision making in whatever I was doing. So at least you have a diverse team, you get good diversity of thoughts, and not that you are always right. There are people who bring different expertise, who bring different. So, for example, learning and development, it was your domain, and we could always leverage, discuss, plan. So, bring in talent, bring in specialists who can help you deliver, and clearly spell out your vision, take your team along, and I think the implementation and execution becomes easier.
Right. So I can definitely vouch that, you really had a vision and you ensured that the team was not only there in their duties, but also in spirit. Because it's, along with the responsibilities at work, the way you engaged, we still remember how we played baddie at the end of a very tough day. So all of this really energized us to give our best at work. So people really wanted to go back to work every day. That's something very few leaders are able to create. So
Right.
congratulations to you for really maintaining that all through. So Sanjeev, the other thing is, what does success really mean to you? I think, education wise, qualification wise, in terms of leading your team or achieving your goals in corporate career. But what is, success in each of these areas for you?
I think I would define success of uh, the goals you set out for yourself, whether personally, professionally, and financially, right? Every one of us has a goal. And when I was looking at my career, and when I was changing jobs, because I changed five, six companies, I was looking at the reason because people change jobs, one because of monetary gains, because of functional and positional growth. So there are monetary growth, functional, positional growth.
True.
And to me, every job, everything, I was looking at what it will bring to me, right? So success to me from a career perspective in the initial part of this was how can I grow vertically up and move up. Later part of my career, it was horizontal growth, but doing different things, taking risks, and able to build my knowledge and horizon, right? That was success to me. That I can work in different leadership positions, I can lead large centers, or I can do different procurement processes, I can do payroll, I can do analytics. So that was, and not leading large teams. When I came to Metro in 2011, I started with zero. I was disbursing cash and I was the director in HP. So it's just not about leading large number of teams and what money you make. It is what role and what enhances and what gives you uh, a, you know, a complete sense of satisfaction and motivation to do certain things and create an impact. So to me, success later on, last 10 years, 15 years, is that how much value and impact I have been able to make for the organization, and how much learnings and how much it is for me myself. In terms of monetary, I think I did not set out that I should have this kind of a car or a house or something. But what definitely was that I should become self-sustained. I should plan my money in such a way that future years, because the world was changing around us, that you're secure, your family is secured, and you're able to, secure your family future, your children's future, and give them the best of the education. And to me, my biggest investments are both my kids, right? And their education. It's not about how many $1 million and how many dollars or how many thousand rupees the bank balance I have. It's
True.
just that what gives my family a success, and success barometer to me is very different in terms of monetary. And the third thing was, where do I act as a human being? I think the biggest, so I decided to change what is the purpose of my life. It is just not my qualification or my degrees, it is what I'm able to give back to society. So I think in the initial discussions, you said, what is the impact? So the impact is, now I've taken up to education and CSR in a big way. So I'm very much involved in a lot of NGOs, a
Sure.
lot of water projects. We earned 2 Economic Times CSR awards. I'm doing a lot of education. So whatever I have taken back, if I can give back a part of this to the society for the betterment and bring up society, I think that gives me immense satisfaction. It's just not my position and my money which I'm making. It's just that somebody is benefiting and somebody is able to leverage what I have got. And so I think to me that is a good success. That I'm happy at the end of the day that wherever I'm working, I made a difference. Second thing is that I'm satisfied in my life. The purpose is that give back to the society, make a difference, either through CSR, either through other initiatives, and contribute at large. So I
Awesome.
would define success in that way.
Wow. So success is more like giving back to the society while you secure yourself and your family. And of course, the
Absolutely.
biggest investment are our children, because if they are established in life, that is a huge success by itself. Very well said. Uh,
Absolutely.
right. So, what is the biggest achievement that you, when you look back in your life, that you feel that, okay, this is something which really kind of gives you the satisfaction, and it's above all successes that you have achieved so far?
No, what I would say, I think as a leader, when I reflect back, I think it is just not the positions or the companies I work for. It is just the kind of experience, the kind of leaders I have worked through, the kind of changes I've seen in myself as a leader, how I involved. When I joined my first company as a leader, the first people manager job in American Express, because in Modi Xerox, I was an individual contributor. What I was as a team lead and where I am today, if I see back and reflect, there's a sea amount of change. And it's not by all my efforts, it's the contribution of all the leaders I have worked, all the peers and colleagues like you I have worked, and the learnings I had on the way. So it has been a journey. So to me, looking back, uh, and bringing that maturity, bringing that experience, and if I can share with somebody and if this can help bring up new talent, new this thing, that will be a great success, I would say. Uh, yeah, what one thing which I'm proud of is completing my PhD in spite of all my busy schedule and everything else, because as I said in the beginning, learning never stops. And something I challenge myself, why can't I do it? Everybody can do it, whether it will take me long hours or whatever. So I think if you are committed to something and you are passionate to something, you're bound to achieve it.
Beautiful. So, very few people have this entire feeling that, they need to continue learning. Once they achieve a certain goal, it's like, okay, been there, done that. Everything is, like they go beyond it. So, Sanjeev, you have had so many different achievements in life. Who has been the inspiration or the role model who has really kind of been there all through the journey and made you feel that you need to do more in life?
I think I would say on a personal front, my father. I always looked up on him, the background he came from, very humble background, and then where he reached and how he imparted education and how he motivated us. So he's a friend, and I talk to him everything. He knows everything in and out, including personal issues. Everything I talk to him. There are two leaders which impacted me, and I'm still very close and connected with them. And I talk to them on each and everything during difficult times and whatever. One was my initial um, manager, Deepak Gupta, um, who was the head of legal in American Express. The other is Ravi Chandran in HP. So he became a very close friend. When I joined in, he was my manager. Then he joined back uh, in the later years when I was leaving HP in the last year. So I worked very closely with him, got to know him as a person. And since then, last, I would say 15 years, we have been very close. We speak about a lot. And I think it's good to have somebody like him where you can bounce off ideas. So it's not always a coaching, but it's always a mentoring where I can go and learn from his experiences, learn from his way of looking at things. Because whatever you are, you have a certain way of looking at things.
Right.
And when you put somebody senior who's matured enough, they have a different way of looking at things and they bring a different perspective. And that's why coaching, mentoring is important because they bring a different side to it. So I would say these are the two people, Ravi and Deepak, who have influenced my life on the professional front.
Beautiful. So, Sanjeev, have you ever come across any failures? And if yes, how have you dealt with it?
See, there have been many failures in my life. I would not say uh, so. This has happened while I was choosing my initially doing my commerce, doing my CA, doing my BCom honors in the first year itself. What prompted me was that uh, can I do it differently? You need to realign, realize
Sure.
not every decision goes the way you think your way. There are things you need to look back. So some of the jobs changes I made may not be right if I look at it in hindsight. Um, it had an impact on some of my decisions. So I said, once I look back, I get very positive and very motivated. What is something I could have done it differently? The question is why did I fail or why did I do that, and what the result could have been different if I had done this other way. So self-analyzing, self-critics is a greater tool. Even today, uh, I go back at the end of the day and I say, what did I set out today? What was my target to achieve today? And did I achieve that today? Can I do it differently? So I think self-critiquing yourself, looking back yourself, I think is the biggest thing. And reaching out to like-minded people or your seniors where you feel you're not able to arrive at a decision, there's a help available. Reach out to them. I think those are two things which has helped me overcome some of the very difficult situations personally in life. There have been many instances, and then professionally as well. Reach out for help. And secondly, is always self-question yourself, and that gives you motivation. I can do it differently. I can do it this.
Right.
There's no problem which is not solvable. There's no situation which will not change. It's just that we need to be positive about it, and we need to think through this.
Awesome. Beautiful. So, thank you so much, Sanjeev, for making time and coming on the show and sharing your journey of profession as well as personal success. What is it that, as a mantra, would you like to share with our audience so that they can, have a brilliant career like you and get inspired in the journey?
I think there are a couple of things. One, you need to be a value-driven leader. So walk the talk, preach what you say, what you have said. desire, dedication, and discipline. I think that's very important. And if there is a will, there is a way. And the last important thing is never stop learning. Always invest in yourself. This is going to make you ready for the future. The future is going to change than what it was in the past. There could be some destructive technologies, new changes, the ways of working is going to change. With COVID, a lot of things have changed. So always believe in investing yourself, which will make you better prepared for the future. And always believe in yourself.
Awesome. So thank you so much. And that was Mr. Sanjeev, Dr. Sanjeev Rastogi. And of course, those golden nuggets which are going to help us not only in our career, but also to create success in every part of our life. One of the takeaways, key takeaways is that, invest in yourself, constantly nurture yourself through growth, reach out to the right people, mentors, coaches, and of course, believe in yourself. That's the foundation of a successful life. Thank you, and all the best, Sanjeev.
Thank you, Sonali. It was a pleasure talking to you after a long time. And it's always so nice to talk to you. Thank you, and best of luck, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you very much.